Did you know that 75% of teams fail due to poor collaboration? Or that highly engaged teams can lead to 21% higher profitability? If you want to build a team that's not just good, but unstoppable, you're in the right place. It's not about picking the most experienced people, it's about creating the right culture, empowering your team, and making sure every member feels like a leader. In this video, we're going to reveal the secrets behind creating a dream team that can handle anything. You'll learn how to spot hidden talent, foster a culture that drives success, and turn any setback into a growth opportunity. Ready to take your leadership to the next level? Let's dive in and discover the strategies that can help you build a team no one can beat. Stay tuned for the game-changing tips that will revolutionize your leadership style. Chapter 1. The Dream Team Formula. Picking players, not pawns. Building a great team starts with choosing the right people. But how do you know if someone will add value? The key is to look beyond resumes and search for unique skills that align with your team's mission. The best teams don't just have people who are good enough, they have players who are irreplaceable in their own way. A study from Google's Project Aristotle found that the highest performing teams had one thing in common: psychological safety. It's not just about being good at your job, it's about trusting your team to have your back. Diversity is another game changer. You might think it's about having a team full of like-minded people, but the best teams thrive on a blend of different perspectives. That's why top companies like Apple and Microsoft emphasize diversity in hiring. Diverse teams outperform homogeneous ones by 35%. A varied mix of skills and experiences fosters creativity and problem-solving. Don't just hire based on qualifications. Hire based on how a person's abilities will complement and challenge your existing team. It's important to focus on potential over experience. You might find that someone with less experience has the right mindset and drive. Leaders like Richard Branson, founder of Virgin, swear by hiring people who want to learn, even if they don't know everything yet. Branson famously said, "If you look after your team, they'll look after your business." Finally, trust your gut. Your instincts as a leader can sometimes spot talent that no resume can show. In fact, data from the Harvard Business Review suggests that gut decisions in hiring often lead to more successful long-term team dynamics. So, when you're building your team, remember that the right people make all the difference. Choose wisely. Chapter 2. Culture eats strategy. Building an unstoppable team vibe. Here's a truth that many leaders overlook: culture is everything. A team might have the best strategy in place, but without a strong culture, it'll fall apart fast. Take Zappos, for example. They've built a culture where employees are encouraged to be themselves, and that authenticity leads to remarkable customer service. Zappos' famous family culture is the backbone of their success. In fact, they spend months hiring the right cultural fit before they even look at skills. The way you treat your team sets the tone for the entire organization. Great leaders create an atmosphere where everyone feels empowered and valued. In a study by Gallup, companies with highly engaged employees have 21% higher profitability. That's the power of creating a positive, motivated team. It's also why culture eats strategy for breakfast, a famous quote from business consultant Peter Drucker. If your culture doesn't support your strategy will crumble. But how do you actually build this vibe? It starts with transparency and open communication. Employees need to know they are heard and that their opinions matter. A survey from Tiny Pulse revealed that 82% of employees would work harder if they were recognized more. That's a huge win for team morale. Another effective strategy is to invest in team bonding. Whether it's through team building exercises or casual gatherings, these moments create connections that go beyond the workplace. Google encourages its teams to take breaks together to talk about anything but work. It's these informal moments that help build strong relationships. And strong relationships lead to great collaboration. Finally, be sure to reinforce your culture with every action you take. If you say you value innovation, then make sure your team has the resources to experiment. Leaders set the example, and your actions will determine whether your culture truly takes root or fades away. Chapter 3. Fail-proof leadership. Turning setbacks into fuel. Here's a powerful fact: failure is not the end. In fact, it's often the beginning of something bigger. Every great leader has faced setbacks. What sets them apart is their ability to turn those setbacks into lessons for growth. Leaders like Elon Musk have failed more times than they've succeeded. Yet, Musk's willingness to fail forward has made him a global icon. According to a study by McKinsey & Company, 70% of organizational transformations fail. But what happens after failure is crucial. The difference between a team that crumbles and one that comes back stronger is leadership. Leaders who embrace mistakes as learning opportunities help their teams bounce back better and faster. One key strategy is to normalize failure. Encourage your team to take risks and be open about their mistakes. When a mistake happens, focus on what can be learned from it, not who's to blame. A culture where failure is embraced as part of the learning process builds resilience. For example, at Pixar, mistakes are celebrated because they believe that failure is an essential part of creativity. Another fail-proof leadership strategy is to keep the communication lines open. When something goes wrong, don't hide it from your team. Share the details and ask for feedback. Transparency in tough times builds trust. That trust is what gets you through the next challenge stronger than before. Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon, has said, "If you double the number of experiments you do per year, you're going to double your inventiveness." Finally, use failure as a stepping stone, not a roadblock. A study by the University of Pennsylvania shows that people who view challenges as opportunities for growth are more likely to succeed in the long run. The more failures you face, the better equipped you become to overcome them. As Michael Jordan once said, "I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." Don't forget to subscribe for more insights on leadership and building a team that can't be beaten. Hit the bell so you won't miss the next game-changing strategies. Chapter 4. Ego-free zones. Creating a space for magic. When it comes to building a team that thrives, one thing is certain: egos have to be checked at the door. Ego can poison a team's dynamics, creating division where there should be unity. In fact, research from the Center for Creative Leadership found that 52% of leadership failures stem from poor interpersonal skills and ego-driven behavior. So, how do you create a team environment that allows creativity and collaboration to flourish? It starts with putting the team's success above individual achievements. One strategy is to foster humility in every team member. When people can admit they don't know everything, it opens the door to new ideas and innovation. Leaders like Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft, emphasize the importance of a growth mindset. Nadella transformed Microsoft by encouraging a culture where learning from mistakes is just as important as celebrating victories. This mindset shifts the focus away from individual glory and towards team success. Another tactic is creating a failure-friendly environment. When team members feel safe to experiment without fearing judgment, creativity blossoms. Take 3M's approach to innovation. They gave their employees 15% of their time to work on side projects, resulting in products like Post-it notes. Encouraging personal projects and risk-taking without the pressure of immediate results fosters a culture of continuous improvement. To eliminate egos, focus on team-based rewards rather than individual recognition. Amazon's leadership philosophy, for instance, centers on team achievements, with bonuses tied to overall team performance. When teams share in both the success and the struggle, egos tend to soften. Lastly, led by example. As a leader, showing vulnerability by admitting your own mistakes can go a long way. Leaders who don't try to be the smartest person in the room but empower others to shine create a more cooperative atmosphere. When everyone feels valued for their unique contributions, the team is unstoppable. Chapter 5. The Secret Sauce of Unbeatable Teams. Ownership mentality. One of the most powerful forces in any team is a sense of ownership. When every team member feels responsible for the team's success, magic happens. Research from Gallup shows that companies with highly engaged teams, those that feel a sense of ownership, have 21% higher profitability and 17% higher productivity. So, how do you inspire an ownership mentality in your team? Start by empowering your team to make decisions. Instead of micromanaging, give them the freedom to choose the best course of action. Zappos is a prime example of this. They allow employees to make key decisions without needing approval from upper management. This autonomy gives employees a sense of responsibility and pride in their work. Another strategy is to clearly align team goals with individual motivations. If your team understands the why behind their work, they'll be more invested in seeing it succeed. A study by the London Business School found that employees who feel aligned with a company's mission are 3 times more likely to be engaged and perform at their best. When your team feels like their contributions are driving the company's overall vision, they'll take ownership of their roles. Ownership also comes from transparency. Share the big picture with your team and let them in on the decision-making process. Leaders who trust their teams with vital information build loyalty and accountability. This is why companies like Whole Foods share detailed financials with their employees. They believe transparency fosters a greater sense of ownership. Lastly, give credit where it's due. When team members see their contributions are recognized, it reinforces their sense of ownership. The simple act of acknowledging someone's effort can lead to increased morale and a greater commitment to the team's goals. Ownership isn't just about doing the work, it's about taking pride in it. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit subscribe for more tips on building a legendary team. And don't forget to click the bell to stay updated with all the leadership strategies that will make you and your team unstoppable.